Hello aspirants, welcome to you all to the session of One Day One Answer, our daily initiative of free answer writing, where we discuss first in the video the nature of the question, the topics which we are going to discuss in the question, and thereafter we'll discuss the structure of one of the PYQs based on that same theme, and thereafter in the pinned section you will find a question of which you will write the answer and send on the Telegram link which has been provided to you, and thereafter in the evening we will meet to discuss the various aspects of the questions of the pinned comment section question wala, and will evaluate your copies, give you directions in this regard. So let's start today's discussion, and today's topic for our discussion is, as being regularly asked by UPSC last 2-3 years, the Vedic Age. Be it prelims and specifically in the mains part, we are going to see that how the Vedic Age was being asked by UPSC. In the GS part, regularly from last year 2023 to this year mains 2024, the question on Vedic Age was prominent. And with regard to syllabus mapping of this question, most of you might ponder that why Vedic Age has been asked is not in the art and culture. But aspirant, this Vedic Age is our heritage and it helps to form our culture, because in nowadays you will see most of the regenerative elements of society, the social progression or the new generation is pondering over the Vedic Age, that the Vedic is our culture, we are living, we have to live according to the Vedic culture, our Indian culture is the result and outcome of the Vedic culture. So in that regard, the Vedic Age is a part of our cultural heritage. Cultural heritage, Sanskritik Dharohar. So that's why getting a good conceptual clarity over Vedic Age is very important. As far as the questions of UPSC are concerned, the questions of the Vedic Age will basically come on the few important themes or subtopic of Vedic Age. And the subtopic of Vedic Age, for example, are the political, admin, socio, economy, religious aspect of the Vedic Age. Now this Vedic Age, as we know, is being divided into two parts. The part number 1 is called the Rig Veda, and that is the years from the 1500 BC to 1000 BC. That is the age of Rig Veda. Then after the Rig Veda we have the later Vedic Age, in which there was some transformation pertaining to the political, administrative, socio-economic and religious aspect in the Vedic Age. Okay, so later Vedic Age from 1000 BC before present era to 600 BC is taken as the period of later Vedic Age. Now, why we are calling it a Vedic Age? Because the most of the information we are getting with regard to the Vedic Age is from the few important sources, and those sources are the Vedas. Vedas mention about the lifestyle, the society, social organization, cultural affiliations, religious aspect, political organization, nature of polity, nature of administration, the nature of tribal assemblies, the life of people, economic life of people. So these all are given by the Vedas. So Vedas are the important source of information of this Vedic Age. So that's why, based on that nomenclature of Vedas, we are calling it Vedic Age, which has been divided into 1500 before present to the 600 before present, the Rig and later Vedic respectively. I hope this point is clear to you. Vedic Age. Now there is another debate on the origin of Vedic Age, though it might not be asked to you, but just a brief nature of the origin will be beneficial for you. According to the established notion among historians, and the research is ongoing process, the origin of the Vedic people can be traced from the Aryans. Now Aryans were a group of people who were living in the Central Asian region and steppes, and they migrated to the other parts of India. to other parts of Indian subcontinent. One of the batch of Aryan has went to the west, that is the Europe, and one branch of the Aryan came down to the northwestern India, and that is why we can say that the Vedic age, the primary habitation of occupation in the Vedic age and in some part of later Vedic age was the northwestern India, and that has been substantiated by the Vedas, which talks about the particular geographical extent of Vedic age in the Sapt Sindhu region. The river Sindhu and its 7 tributaries, that is in the north and the northwestern part of India. It has been corroborated by the historical evidence of the literary evidence of the historical. This substantiates the theory of Aryan migration, that Aryans came to India, and with them, when they came to India, now the point of discussion here to understand as a concept is what was their political nature, what was their economic nature, what was the society and religion. So in that regard, you have to understand this point. As Aryans, they were the migrated people and they had a tribal nature. Their nature was tribal. Their nature was tribal. Okay? Among them, the basic criteria of social stratification, political and administrative organization was the kinship, relationship, blood relationship. And kingship was the defining criteria. Okay, and based on that kingship, they has organized themselves into various units, which we understand that there was the smallest unit called as Kul. Kul consists of all those people being related with one another, kinship, Kul. Now some of the Kul combine together and they form Grama. Of course, the Kul has the head as Kulp, Gram has the head as the Gramini. Some of the Kul has combined together to form a Grama. Some of the Grama have combined together to form a Vis, that is called a district, we can understand, Vis, under the Visapati, and some of the Vis has combined together and form as the Jana, that is the larger unit. Okay. So kinship was the basic criteria in which Kul consisting of few families, then few families made the Gram village, Gram made the Vis, that is the district, and that Vis made the Jana, which consisting of the number of families and the Gramas and the Vis. The head of the Jana was Rajan. Then we have the information about some tribal assemblies, meaning the Sabha having administrative functions, judicial functions. Then we have Samiti, political and state functions. Sabha was a closer group. Samiti was an open group consisting of all tribal to discuss the political nature, the state, the political affairs, the state affairs, etc. to elect a king, that is a Rajan. And Rajan was responsible to them. Rajan was not a monarchical head. He was head of the tribal assembly. He was head of the Jana. There were different Jana in the Vedic age. Okay. Then again we have some transformation from the Rig to later Vedic, in which the nature of polity will be changed. The Sabha and Samiti, who are having a constant vigil on the Rajan, will see a next moment of change in the later Vedic age. And that change will be based on the above criterias. The changes in the nature of economy. Okay, we'll discuss that. So nature was tribal. This is the basic understanding of the Vedic age, divided into Rig Veda and later Veda. Then we have the tribal, then we have kinship and assembly, Sabha and Samitis. Okay, clear? Then with regard to the nature of economy, we can also understand this, because nature of economy will also decide the nature of society here. So nature of economy, first of all, they were pastorals. There was importance of agriculture. The various evidences we are getting in the Vedic age with regard to agriculture, the agriculture produce, okay, Godhuma, Go, pasture land was very important, okay, due to the nature of agriculture society. Then we have tributes forming a very important part, tributes, okay. Then Rig Veda prescribe a lot of rituals for sacrifices under which tribute has to be given by the Rajan to the Brahmanas, okay. So we can understand this point that pastoral agriculture and tributes, and then there was the Varna system which has emphasized on the which was based on some occupations, and these occupations were number one Brahmanas, then we have Kshatriyas, then we have Vaishyas, and then we have Shudra. This was occupational division. So we can say that these were the prominent occupations in the Vedic age. The nature will be changed from Rig to later Vedic age, okay. This was the economic activity. Then we have some crafts, and we have some we can say some artisans will be there, artisanal activity will be there. This is more important feature of the later Vedic age, okay. So now let's understand, we are calling Rig Veda and later Vedic. So what is the basic difference between Rig Veda and later Vedic? The basic difference will be pertaining to the nature of their political, administrative, social and economic and religious aspect. First of all, we need to understand that as they were tribal, in the Rig Veda, the most of the important thing was, as we have discussed, the categorization of different political units based on the kingship relation. Rajas were accountable to tribal assemblies. Then what happened in the 1000 BC? There was a migration, there was a expansion of Aryans from the Sub-Sindhu region to the Doab region following the eastern path, and that is the Ganga Yamuna Doab was a new set of territorial expansion, was a new core for the territorial expansion of the Aryans. Now they came to that area, and this was possible for discovery of iron. Iron has helped to expand the territories. It helped to make agriculture more prominent occupation. It helped to generate surplus agriculture produce. And with regard to the discovery of iron, we need to understand this point, that beside the agriculture surplus, the new when the forests were cleared, when there was expansion, it also has made the importance of territorial expansion. And when there will be territorial expansion, the political and administrative nature will be prominent, and that we can see as a transformation in the later Vedic period. In the later Vedic period, the political nature of Vedic period will be changed. Now the Rajan will have more powers due to the territorial expansion which was under him, and he was saying that due to my position, my efforts, the expansion was possible, and the people who are engaging in commercial activities, there was increase in their activity due to the territorial expansion, new territories. So that's why you people have to submit to my authority, you people have to give more tributes to us. And then we can see the tribal organizations like Sabha, Samiti and Vidhat, which was for the distribution of war booties, that their position would be diminished. Their position will be lower down in the later Vedic age. So this was the basic concept of Vedic age in their political, administrative, social and economic. Of course, with the changing in the later Vedic age, as the economy also changed because of surplus production, good agriculture production, new territorial expansion, the discovery of iron. So of course there will be metal works will be there. That has led to the rise of the craft and artisan in the later Vedic age. And this has created a more different organization. We will see in the part of the question itself. जब हम लोग question की बात करेंगे, this is the conceptual understanding of the Vedic age, which has been divided, and its basic nature. Then, in terms of the nature of religion, the nature of religion of the Vedic age will have two different aspects. First will be the Rig Veda and then the later Veda age. In the Rig Veda, the gods were natural gods. Human who could not understand the reason behind the natural events gave them the position of God. Indra, Rudra, Usha, Agni, Varun, Vayu, etc. Sacrifices were done for them from the Vedas. Vedas were the authority which prescribed the rules, regulations, which prescribe the mantras, hymns, and the sacrificial rituals which has to be followed to please those gods. So natural gods were there. In the later Vedic age, with the territorial expansion, with the change in the economy and society, the religion has got that impact, and in that sense we can see that gods were now personified, new gods were emerging. The territorial expansion, as it has raised the personality of Rajan, as it has raised the authority of Rajan, as it has raised the status of society, new elements could be seen, and that was the gods which were personified like Prajapati, Rudra, etc. So it was mainly meant for, the religion was mainly meant for the, not meant for basically, but religion was following the process of historical transformation from the Rig to the later Vedic age. We'll discuss all those things. Okay, so one thing you have to clear in terms of understanding, that when we are seeing the Vedic age, it has two parts, and we have to see the political, administrative, social, economic and religious aspect of the both Rig Veda and later Vedic age. Now coming to the part of the question here, which we have taken as from the PYQ of 2023. So the question says, what are the main features of Vedic society and religion? Do you think that some of the features are still prevalent in Indian society? Now getting into the question itself, first we have to understand the command and directive word. Directive word is we have to discuss simply the main features of Vedic society and religion, and after that, do you think, क्या आप सोचते हो कि these features of society and religion are still prevailing in society? So beautiful question being presented to check your understanding and ability to applicate your knowledge by witnessing the relativeness of Vedic age and the contemporary Indian society. Okay, in that part, the first part would be the introduction. In the introduction, as we have no such commanding word of analyze, critical analyze, examine, we can write the simple introduction of the Vedic age and its particular division into Rig Veda, into later Veda, and thereafter just highlight in the 20-30 words, just highlight the nature of the Rig Veda and later Veda. Okay? In particular context of the society and religion. Okay. And thereafter, the number 2 part, discuss the main features. You have 2 options here. You can discuss the main feature of society and religion into one unit, or you can also discuss separately society and then religion. In my opinion, you can prefer to discuss the society and religion into one unit, like you are showing society and religion at the same place into different points. That will be more helpful to you to interconnect the aspect, to maintain that interlinkages. So with regard to the feature of society and religion, the first and foremost thing you have to write the basic nature of society, that it was a tribal in nature. Tribal in nature. Based on the kinship. ये हमने बता दिया यहाँ पे. Based on the kinship. With changes in the Rig Veda and later Veda highlighted being in 10 to 15 words. The changes which has came. Okay. Tribal in nature. The society was ritualistic. Ritualistic. And under this ritualistic aspect, connect the reason for that ritualistic aspect. That why it was ritualistic? Due to the Vedas. Due to the economic circumstances, which was driven by the ritualistic aspect. Okay, society was ritualistic. Egalitarian society. Egalitarian. Why I am calling it egalitarian? Because it was based on the communal aspect. Common property, communal aspect, no such class division. However, in that you can also show that Vedic age also saw the coming of the Varna system. Varna system, which was based on the occupation only, which has divided into the 4 important Varna. Then we have the Varna Vyavastha. After that one we have Ashram Vyavastha. Balashram. Ashram Vyavastha was there. 4 ashramas, where we have the education, then we have the Vyavsai, then we have Grihast, and then we have the Vanaprasth. 4 ashram Vyavastha was there. Egalitarian society was very important. Then the position of women, when we listen to the woman, just highlight the position of women in both the Rig Veda and then the later Veda. Kya position tha unka, and why there was a few more important changes can be seen in the position of women with respect to the later Vedic age when compared with the Rig Vedic age. And that is the reason being the economic participation and the property rights. Then write the point of nature of society, patriarch. Society was patriarchally driven. Okay. Then the Rig Veda people were the followers of nature. Connecting with the important point, the important point was society and religion, nature, or you can say natural gods. Under Rig Veda and then under the later Veda, as I explained you that why there was transformation from the Rig Veda to later Vedic gods. Just highlight that point. Okay, the nature of God was changed also. It was based on the nature, then it was personified, and which was influenced by the changes in the later Vedic period. The changes you just read to write in 5 to 10 words. Economic changes, social economic changes. If you have examples, put that example. Due to the iron discovery, expansion, territorial expansion, etc. Then society was agriculturist and high importance of agriculture. Now substantiate this with like Gotra, Godhuma, Gavishti. Okay, Gotra we all understand in our contemporary periods. Then the ritualistic aspect, and this was also followed in the institution of marriage. It was ritualistic. Then we have, based on the ashramas, we have some few ceremonies, like there was Upanayan ceremony, the sacred thread ceremony for the Dvij, the dual born Brahmana, Kshatriya and Vaishyas. Okay. There are few important things which we have to discuss under this main feature society and religion. Now the next part, do you think that some of the features still, yes, they are still prevailing. In fact, we can see highly ritualistic. We are following Vedas in our set of society, in our ritual aspect. We are performing yagyas. The society is having the egalitarian notion, not being followed, but egalitarian notion. The Varna, which has metamorphized into the caste system in the later ages, is an outcome of the caste, is an outcome of the Varna order, and we are still following that. And you know, there is a word Varna Shankar. If one is marrying, because in the Vedic age the marrying outside of the Varna was not permitted, inter-Varna marriage was not there, but in nowadays we can see that there was a word coined like Varna Shankar, who is the mixture of the, who is the child is a mixture of the marriage between two different Varnas. And that has also, we can see that inter-caste marriage are still not being appreciated by the traditional Indian families. The reason being the caste affiliations based on that Varna order. Okay. Then we have position of women. Still we are following the patriarchy. There is a gender bargaining. Women are not appreciating the independence nature of women themselves. Gender bargaining is there. Patriarchy notion is still very much established in Indian society. It was given by that Vedic age also. Okay. Then of course we can see in terms of occupational, we have that great following for agriculture. We are following the Gotra system. We are following the Upanayan system. We are following the ritualistic aspect in the marriage. In some of the Brahmana family, we can see that Kshatriya family, the Brahmana family, the 6th and 7th generation are being seen that they are not having the same Gotra or lineages. Sapind marriage is not permitted. Recently there was a high court decision with regard to Sapind relationships. These are the various examples you can put in the answer that they are still prevailing in the society. Of course, the natural gods we are also worshipping in our yagna. The importance of Agni is still present. Agni is taken as the messenger of God. The fire and the smoke from the Agni, it goes towards the sky and it gives the message of the performer of the yagna to the gods. That is the basic concept of Agni. Agni is very much used nowadays. If still in the marriage ceremony we can find the Saat Fera in the witness of Agni. Agni is considered very pure still nowadays. Okay, society is patriarch. So there is a very much important characteristics we can see in terms of the things we are still prevailing, the features in the Indian society. Okay, I hope this point is clear to you how to structure a question. 3 parts: introduction part, main body part. First we have to answer the society and religion, the main features. Then connecting the main features. Third part, we will discuss the prevailing features in Indian society which can be seen from the Vedic religion, society and religion. Okay, the features which are still prevailing in Indian society, third part. Then conclude the answer. I hope this point is clear to you. Okay. Conceptual understanding, just a few important points you can note if you want. That Vedic age, first we have to see the time period of that Vedic age, then origin, the regional expansion, location. That while we are reading the Vedic age, put important emphasis on this, the locational aspect. Then social political organization, tribal assemblies, common rights, family system, varna system, ceremonies, ritualistic. It was patriarchy, polytheist, multiple gods were worshipped, which we are still finding in our society. Property rights, the most of the important property rights and laws we are finding in contemporary India also has the Vedic establishment. The Mitachar and Daibhag has the Vedic authority behind them. Then the economy, system of economy and interlinkage of economy, society and religion is very important aspect of the Vedic age. And so in this regard, we can understand the Vedic age of India. The Vedic age of India is very important to study the continuity of the civilization. Most of the important features of the Vedic age, either in terms of society and religion, can still be seen in India as their existence was continuity. Vedas are the authority. They are still considered infallible. Apurushe, not made by man, made by God. It was revelations by God to the sages who wrote down the Vedas. Vedas are still being practiced in their chanting. Vedas being transmitted, there was an oral tradition of transmission of Vedas, which still we can see in our contemporary society. In terms of social validation, one who is worshipping the Vedas, who is conducting the life affairs according to the Vedas is considered very pure. So these are the various aspects which we can see in our today's society. So in that way, you can understand this point of the Vedic age, and in the pinned comment section, go and write the answer. We'll discuss that answer today's evening. Thank you very much. Take care.